Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we have 10 amazing free-to-play games that you didn't know existed. GoldenEye Source is a complete remake of the classic 1997 Nintendo 64 game GoldenEye 007. For those who are unaware, the original GoldenEye was one of the most defining FPS games from the 90s, and this Source version, being a multiplayer-only fan-made game, attempts to recreate the nostalgic GoldenEye 007 experience, and it does it damn well. This is first apparent with the graphics, which is a love child of the quintessential Source and GoldenEye looks. This art direction is flawless, with the weapons, maps and player models all looking true to the original, even the HUD is the same. Gameplay wise, it's all very much the same deal. Realism takes a backseat, with the chaotic close quarters battles being the main driving force, be it spraying an MP5, using the iconic golden gun, or karate chopping your enemy. A variety of game modes round out this long-standing game, with a dedicated community behind it, and it's definitely something you guys should go and check out. Killer Instinct is a combo-focused fighting game, along the lines of Tekken and Street Fighter, but everything has been cranked up to 11. The gameplay is chaotic, a frenzy of jabs and kicks, all which can be chained into combos to do extra damage, or in the case of an ultra combo, can end the round. Now the graphics look great for a game that was released in 2013, but unlike a lot of games from that period, it's still being regularly updated with new content, the majority being new characters to go and play with. Killer Instinct features a ranked season, which caters to its small but extremely dedicated competitive community. On top of that, there is in-depth training modes, like creating a shadow character that matches your skill that is perfect in order to go and improve your play. Alien Swarm is a multiplayer top-down shooter by Valve. It's a remake of the Alien Swarm mod from Unreal Tournament 2004, and the team that made that mod was actually hired by Valve during the development process. The premise of the game is fairly simple. 4 players can join a single cooperative match, the aim of which is to progress through levels while eliminating waves of enemies. Now, Alien Swarm is a class-based game, with there being the roles of officer, special weapons, medic, and tech to choose from. Each class has 2 selectable characters, with differences in abilities that goes and mixes it up a little bit. With the waves upon waves of enemies intercepting your squad, a balanced team composition is needed, which brings in a good degree of tactics. If you need a decent game to play with your friends, Alien Swarm might be an enjoyable experience for you. But saying that, if you have an enjoyable experience watching this video, make sure to go and subscribe to watch more top 10 lists like this one. Unreal Tournament is a long-standing project from Epic Games, a complete revival of the Unreal Tournament series from the ground up. While games like Quake Champions are attempting to branch out the genre with abilities and for such, Unreal Tournament is going down the hardcore direction. The most significant upgrade is in the graphics department. The difference between 2007's UT3 and this game is staggering, not only in the map and character work, but also in the detailed effects and models for the weapons that you can pick up around the map. Now in terms of gameplay, it's remained basically the same in comparison to previous iterations, with a major emphasis on skill-based aim drills and utilising the wide arsenal of weapons. Now the modes are varied, including the classic team deathmatch, but also includes capture the flag and duel. But with Epic's attention spread across multiple games, updates may be few and far between, but regardless, the game is in a great state right now and is a must-play for any FPS fan. Brawlhalla is a fighting game developed and published by Blue Mammoth Games for the PC, Mac and PlayStation 4. Now when talking about Brawlhalla, the first game that comes to everybody's mind is Super Smash Bros. Both games feature a stage-like area where the aim is to knock your opponent off the edge. By attacking your enemy, their damage taken bar will increase, which also means how much they get knocked back will significantly increase as well. Once the bar is full, they will be knocked out, which adds another way of losing a life on top of being knocked off the edge. Graphics wise, Brawlhalla goes with the 2D style, but this doesn't detriment the game in the style department. Wonderfully inspired models across the whole line of characters in conjunction with the varied backdrops and stages not only means Brawlhalla is nice to look at, but it also means it's extremely easy to run. Though saying that, the complexity of air movement is easily apparent, with in-air dodges being a crucial move to master, and this significantly increases the skill ceiling. Significantly enough that there is a World Championship every year with a prize pool of $50,000, which is pretty cool indeed. Battlefield 2142 is probably a game that you really didn't expect to be on this list, more than likely because this was a paid game. Well, after EA and DICE announced the shutting down of games by all the way back in 2014, all the games on that shutdown list went from being the property of the distributor and publisher to being in a state of abandonware. A team of die-hard Battlefield fans decided to start up the Revive launcher, which supports 2142 and another game that we might talk about later. All in all, old school Battlefield is back, and I for one am extremely happy about it. Now I could talk about Battlefield for ages, but to be honest, I'm sure you guys know about the series already. So instead, let's talk about one of the most important game elements that really makes this game shine. What I'm talking about is 2142's game modes, which are Conquest and Titan. Now Conquest is the same throughout all the Battlefields, but Titan is a beast of a mode that only saw light in 2142. Each team has a Titan, which is a massive, heavily armored flying warship that has a powerful force field that protects the Titan from enemy intrusion and weapons fire. Now the Titans, they fire back with a number of massive cannons and anti-aircraft weapons, making them a force to be reckoned with. Now the first part of the battle starts with the force fields up, where players fight on the ground to control anti-Titan missile silos that are scattered across the battlefield. After the shields have been taken down, your goal is simple: destroy the Titan. However, there are two ways to go and do this: stay on the ground and keep firing off those missiles, or board the Titan itself and destroy it from the inside. Either way guarantees an insane match, and Titan mode, and in general Battlefield 2142, is a bundle of fun to go and play. Trackmania Nations Forever is an incredibly simple but also incredibly addicting racing game. The gameplay is straightforward: use the arrow keys to move left, right, accelerate and brake. Now if you do go and screw up, press space to spawn back at the last checkpoint, or press delete to start the course again, and the rest is the magic of Trackmania. A ton of courses come with a relatively small sized game, but hop online and there is a massive assortment of custom made maps that are made by the dedicated community. Now one thing that I haven't mentioned is the graphics. That's because the addictive gameplay is the bulk of the game's appeal, but saying that it looks great for what it is, and I'm positive that everyone watching this video could run this game no matter what computer you have. The minimum specs are insanely low. Before I talked about Unreal Tournament, and I said that Epic Games has a few other games under their belt. One of these games is Paragon, a third-person MOBA. First up, let's have a quick talk about the graphics. They are straight up beautiful. Powered by the Unreal 4 engine, Paragon is by far the best looking MOBA out right now, and I don't think that title will be knocked off anytime soon. Now Epic, they aren't trying to go and reinvent the wheel. The pure DNA of the MOBA isn't being touched. 5v5 matches are played on a medium-sized asymmetrical arena with a top, mid and bot lane, and in between these lanes is called the jungle, which players can use to craft nifty paths behind enemies that get the one-up over them. Gold is earned by killing minions, which spawns in waves. The map is protected by layers of turrets, which deal tons of damage, and thus a wave of minions is needed before you can try to go and attack it. To win the game, you destroy the enemy's core, which is positioned in the heart of their base. This basic game structure is true to all MOBAs. Where Paragon deviates is in the execution. The heroes available are varied and unique, each one having a certain role to play and a certain personality as well. Auto-attacking and using abilities is not done via simple mouse click. Aiming is involved on all fronts, and thus the gameplay feels extremely similar to a third-person shooter. With the 3D environment, the deviance from League of Legends and Dota 2 grows further, and in the end, Paragon shows itself to be a top-tier MOBA game of 2017. Half-Life is a game that is dear to many people. I personally love the game, but I rage quit about 95% of the way through the game after dying a million times at the mines. You guys might or might not be in the same boat, but regardless, there really isn't an excuse to go and check out Black Mesa, a third-party reboot of the 1998 classic. Black Mesa tries to stay as true as possible to the original game, in plot and in gameplay. Plot-wise, I won't spoil anything, so I'll just go and show off the first level. Gameplay is rock solid, featuring our main character Gordon Freeman going through level after level by shooting foes with an assortment of weapons, solving tricky puzzles, and in general just doing badass shit. Black Mesa is a game that is hard to explain, and is much more fulfilling being played. As always, links are in the description to all the downloads, so don't go and skip out on this one. Now, before I talked about Battlefield 2142 and the Revive project, and I said there was one other game on their roster, and of course that game is the iconic Battlefield 2, in my opinion one of the best multiplayer first-person shooter games of all time. Characterizing many of the industry-defining traits, like different classes, large and detailed maps, along with the classic Conquest mode, Battlefield 2 truly is a game for the ages. It's hard to really think that it's been 12 years since this game has been released, but it is showing its age in the graphics department. However, with the dedicated Battlefield 2 community still alive and kicking, there is a ton of great mods that can really transform your experience, one of the most popular ones being Project Reality. Project Reality is a complete revamp of Battlefield 2. It features 40 map, 15 factions, additional combat features, and upgraded graphics. With that said, the original game in my opinion stands up against today's competition purely because it's cut out the bullshit. No pay to win DLC, no cosmetic packs, it's just a solid game with a ton of maps, great mods, an amazing selection of classes, and most of all, a great community. It even has Australian servers. Of all the games on this list, I highly suggest checking at least Battlefield 2 out. I'm sure you won't regret it. Now hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go and smash that like button, make sure to go and subscribe, and also in the comment section below, go and type out what your favorite game was. I would really be interested in reading about it. But as always, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from down under, out.